And action. What's good, everyone? Welcome to the Sugar Show. Yo, we're back. MMA SmokeOut. Fresh off
some UFC nachos.
Yes, nacho night. But yeah, UFC Noche, man. That shit was crazy. We were there live, ready to go, man. It was exciting. Definitely some controversy, but definitely exciting. Dope ass event.
Yeah, I think every UFC I go see live now, I'm have to sprinkle a little something on the main event being a draw because that's the second time.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that odds would have probably been like plus 2,000 or more or something like that.
And you know we the plus 2,000 hitters over here.
Plus 2,000, the super dog hunters. Shout outs to the MMA hype killer last week for stopping by.
For giving you some shitty ass picks.
No, so it was long shots. You know, he was trying to get the dog hunter on. But man, I mean, I bounced back. That was important because I went that previous week. Izzy really failing me and going 0-3 on the show, and now bounce back. Got 1-1-1 though, nothing too crazy. I thought it was going to be a Shevchenko win, but it ended up being a push. And as far as my greasy parlay, it definitely hit with a 6-legger. I'm trying to look it up here actually, so I could recall all this. Oh yeah, right here. Oh yeah, I went 2-0-1. Tracy Cortez pulled out a close one in a pretty good fight. She definitely stepped up to the plate there, man. Your bae. How'd you feel about that fight?
Well, man, I was sketched at the end of the week. I was completely like fading her, but I'm glad she came out on top. How'd I do on those bets?
You went 0-3.
Damn.
So you and Hype Killer didn't have such a hot week for the best bets here. But you know, some of the other people had to help out a little bit, but we couldn't overcome as a whole.
Who was the L's?
For you had Holland plus 125 for the straight bet. Yeah. Then he had a parlay plus 630. Holland, Grasso, Kopilov, where Holland lost it, and then the other parlay was Cortez, Shirez, Godinez, Zellhuber, and Padilla plus 510.
Oh, hey, Padilla, that would have hit, but Padilla controversial fight for sure, bro.
But Padilla lost. Yeah, the crowd was pissed.
I still haven't rewatched that fight because we actually were just
in the smoking section watching it on the screen.
In the smoking section watching it. But yeah, that was it though. But man, that sucks.
Yeah, man, he was the one Mexican parlay buster of the night. You know, he was a big favorite that kind of killed it. But yeah, and then it was all long shots from Hype. You know, he tried to take that shot on Reyes, who got knocked out. Man, who was dominated, and Mitchell, who was knocked out as well by Rosas Jr. So it looks like he's back on his golden boy path.
I was surprised how they just chose to fucking stand on that one.
Yeah, and he was down. I was surprised too. Everyone was surprised he was down to just throw hands, and he got knocked out cold.
Yeah, the other dude, what the hell was he thinking? He was like, "Fuck it, dude.
Fuck it, Alaska FC." But yeah, man, we got to just mention it because it's the big talk of controversy on the main event on the draw. It was Shevchenko was on her way to probably win it, but it looks like one of the judges gave Grasso the round 5 10-8, which made it a draw. So Grasso got to keep her belt. No one won, but you know, we were there live, and the reaction was the crowd was hyped. Mm-hmm. She was hyped, like she won the belt. It felt like she won. And I was like, did they say split decision by Grasso, or what? Did I miss the draw, or what's going on? And DC had to tell her real quick, like, hey, you actually didn't win. It was a draw though. Yeah. I mean, what'd you think?
Hey, yeah, man. If anything, like, it was a close ass fight. Valentina had success again with those takedowns, those body lock takedowns that she was doing in the first fight. Mm-hmm. But Grasso like dropped her in one round. Like, if anything, I thought they were just done controversial and gave Grasso the split. You know what I mean? Because it's just a home crowd. Like, it's like, oh well. But
yeah, someone did score it for her, so scoring for her is fine. I think the only controversy in that is like none of the rounds, no matter how you scored it for anybody, was a 10-8 round. Every round was close enough where it was all 10-9s. basically. So they had to
Yeah.
retrain. There was actually a 10-8 round today on Contender Series, which Dana White was pointing out, and he's like, "That's what a real 10-8 round is for those out there, not that crap we saw on Saturday." But yeah, man. So good event overall, man. Shout outs.
Yeah, it was some solid fights for sure.
But we got another week, man. Before we get a little week break, UFC's been on a fucking tear, and now we're coming to just a cool down event at the Apex. So remember, it's going to be at the smaller cage back in Vegas. This is actually UFC Vegas 79 with headline by Fiziev and Gamrot. But we always going to start at the beginning because we're the full card guys, full plate. And it's only 11 fights this time, so it should be very doable. Let me share this with y'all here. Chang, we're back online here. Can we get a little share? All right, thanks, Chang. All right, here look at what we got here. It's
actually a little sleeper card. There's a lot of noticeable fools on here.
For sure, man. This is a solid card just to cool down a little bit, on a Saturday. Now that football's back, people know that there's gonna be a little less viewers on Saturdays. But the real MMA fans are always gonna watch, tune in for sure. But yeah, we got newcomer Maserat Rendon against prospect here, Tamiris Vidal. Man, any thoughts on this? Sorry, I should have let in once again loaded with the odds here. It looks like Vidal opened around minus 200, and she's sitting around 210, 220, 225.
He got an unlockable character, so that might be a little.
Yeah, if you're subscribing to the unlockable character theory of UFC, she is a plus 180. You can get her at right now. But let's dig in a little deeper on what this newcomer is about. She is undefeated right here from Mexico. One thing is she is on the older side of a prospect. She's 34 years old, man. So, to me, that's semi-red flag, not a lot of experience, and you're already 34, so. And her last fight here is in Invicta. She won by split decision against someone that's like a 500 fighter, and a lot of her competition, in my opinion, hasn't been anyone that's special. She had a grappling match against Juliana Miller, but, I'm not impressed. Hence the odds, right? Vidal, on the other hand, other than her, she had some cardio issues, but she's definitely a prospect. 25 years old, man, pretty on a 6-fight win streak. And competition not so great. Her UFC debut was against an easy one, Ramona Pascual, who's I don't believe no longer in the UFC, not very good. And then notable fight here, she actually beat Aline Perez, but it looks like illegal knees. So you can kind of think about how much you could weigh that. But look, the thing is that she's fought some other people that's also in the UFC or in professional leagues. Martina Jandiroba. In the minor leagues, she's currently in the PFL and competing. Not the best fighter, but pretty at least professional. And then she's also lost over here to Cara Rosa on the regional scene. Cara Rosa is an active UFC fighter as well, who's pretty decent. So, in my opinion, I think this is her fight to win. They're kind of setting her up with something. And I don't know. I'm not sure if this is a short notice fight. Let me check here. Nope, I was mistaken. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was going to be a short notice fight, but looks like they just wanted to push this Mexican fighter against the Brazilian prospect, man. So Vidal's definitely going to be my first leg on that. This week a women greasy parlay, the greasy parlays with the favorites. So she's going to be definitely one of my first legs, first fight of the night. But to be honest, at -2, if you could find like a 200, 210. I wouldn't mind her straight up as well. Actually, I might have to do that. I haven't fired yet.
Yeah, I'm probably rolling with you. Like you said, the other girl's making her debut, small cage. You don't know, she's a Mexican fighter. She might be making a fight, but just off of this, I'm gonna just go with Tamiris.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even be opposed. I think someone might even knock someone out in this case. I mean, that could be a finish. Both of these girls could throw some hands. And the Mexican fighters, you already know their spirit. They're pretty durable though, but they're always down for a scrap,
Yeah.
So I think that lady's gonna be good. Let me just double check Vidal.
Yeah, she's -225 right now.
Yeah, Vidal KO plus 450. I don't know if I'm gonna rock with the props. One thing about the props is these are just looks for fun, like sprinkles. But if you like the fighter, most of the time I would say, go with also the main
but the thing is,
pick.
The thing also is like the women fights are always like sketch for like knockouts.
Yeah, definitely. But here's an example. So last week, Valentina, right? I did sprinkle on her decision prop before the fight because I already had her at minus 155, and then it was plus 175 for her for decision. And anything could happen. Look at what happened. And instead of my main bet being a draw, so I got my money back. Right, it was a push. I lost the prop bet because she didn't win by decision. When you're a prop bettor, you have to make sure it's like buy that or nothing. If anything else happens, you lose.
Yeah.
So that's something you got to consider too. So if you put all your eggs in that basket, you just gotta think about it because UFC, especially with the judges, is a sketchy sport.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Well, next up, we got another chick fight here. We got the return of Mizuki, who's unlockable on the UFC website here. So, but she is a minus 300 favorite against OnlyFans Hannah Goldie.
Well, you already know, fade the OnlyFans.
Yeah, and I didn't know this, but I found out, and I should have done this research even more and knew this. The other week when I bet on Anton, the Pleasure Man, over Tyson Pedro, and he lost, and Anton lost, he also has an OnlyFans.
Oh.
I should have known with the Pleasure Man, and I should have known to fade that. But yeah, I think this is gonna be another leg in my greasy ass parlay, man. Minus 300. I don't love it, but when it's on that greasy, degenerate parlay, then I'll sprinkle that in there because I'm not big on Hannah Goldie. She's just muscles.
Yeah, she's
but she could kind of wrestle, but she's not really anything special.
When her last fight, she got finished by somebody that was like, that doesn't really finish people. I forgot who it was.
Let's pull it up here, Chang.
Shang City.
Hannah Goldie, man. So right here with the swole muscles, 31 years old, 5'4". She lost to Molly McCann with the spinning elbow. Remember that one? When Molly McCann went crazy and grabbed the belt off someone in the crowd and she brought it in the octagon. Oh wow. She did beat Emily Whitmire, who's not good. She lost to Diana Belbita, lost to Miranda Granger. Like those are red flags, especially Miranda Granger. And fun fact though, she beat Jillison Robertson in the regional scenes. Wow. But yeah, I think she's already, if this is her prime, how much better she's gonna get. Whereas, the other chick's coming back for a reason. It did come off an injury, I believe. She was gone for a bit, but she's still young, 29 years old, a couple years younger, and this is kind of her chance to come back. But she doesn't have the power. A lot of these Asian female fighters from Korea or Japan aren't usually power punchers, other than the Chinese fight like Zhang Weili,
Yeah.
But she fought some real people. As far as her last fight, Amanda Lemos, she lasted the whole 3 rounds. So to me, it shows durability.
Sometimes,
and all the other fights, kind of sketchy. But here's a good one: Verna Jandiroba. She went to split decision with Verna, and I highly respect Jandiroba as a fighter as well. So I think that's another really important point. What you got on this?
Yeah, I was looking at Mizuki by maybe like decision. It's like a minus 130. And maybe sprinkle some on the TKO. I don't know if she got slept by a meatball. I don't know. You never know.
Meatball's a power puncher, but yeah,
that's the only way her way of winning fights usually. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly, her ground game sucks, but yeah, minus 300 is disgusting on this type of girl matchup. But yeah, that's why I had to throw on the greasy parlay because it's disgusting. But as far as props, what is it? Mizuki by points is minus 130, so they already know that's probably a likely outcome, but I don't hate that at all.
Yeah.
Because other chick could be durable, could not. We don't know how she recovered from that knockout. She's never. I don't think she's been brutally knocked out like that before.
Yeah,
and her mind might be
elsewhere. If you really degenerate mode, I would sprinkle some on the knockout prop too.
Oh yeah, plus 1,600. I don't hate that at all. Just a real small sprinkle. Because if she never had it, she can get a knockout at some point. And you're right. Off that knockout, your
Small
brain might
cage
not be.
too. Small cage too. You know what I'm saying? Short. You gotta thing with the small cage is like you have nowhere to go. You just gotta like fight.
Yeah, I have that. I like that long shot right there. Plus 16 is plus 16. Probably by fight day, you might even get like a plus 1800 or something crazy.
Hey.
But yeah, no, that's a good look. But enough for that fight. We spent way too much time on that already
For
for that matchup. Oh, great. Here's another matchup. You said this card was good, but maybe the prelims aren't so.
Hey, but this is man, that's the thing about oh yeah, go ahead. It's Muhammad Usman, aka you already know Kamaru's brother. And then this guy, Jay Collier, a former 185er that just said
former muscle man, just got chunky.
Just said I'm eating all the 50-cent burgers for Burger Day.
Yeah,
and it's just fighting and tipping the scales at like the maximum you can weigh every time for heavyweight.
Yeah, he has to cut weight to be heavyweight.
And the thing is, he be looking good like in the first few minutes and stuff, and then something always happens because he has like skills. But thing about Muhammad could put your lights out, but he always be gassing though, like viciously gassing. It's like, bruh.
But he be looping his punches. That's the only thing. So he's gonna have to wrestle. Because I honestly think Collier has the striking advantage as far as like
Collier has hands, but the thing is, he starts getting all gassy later, and then like
he
gets slept. But the thing is, Usman can never last. So, but I think Usman he hits really hard. I think.
Yeah, and when he does land his looping punches, they're power punches. I mean, he's just a strong dude, you know. But yeah, no, Usman's a favorite here. He opened around minus 160. Money came in on Collier, who was like a plus 135, 140, and now he's like down to 125, 130. So just sprinkles. I can see why some people want to take Collier by decision. But let's just kind of dive into their little last few fights real quick here. We got Jay Collier. Look at this picture. They got him as a heavyweight. You could Google a picture of him when he was 185. He was cut. But yeah, he's on a three fight losing streak at 34. And his last two fights, Martin Boudet, he went 3 rounds with, which
he won that first round for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And then Chris Barnett, he lost to Chris Barnett, who's another fat brother in the UFC. That was kind of sad. That's a red flag right there. And then you got Andre Arlovsky by split.
That's another red flag. That's the OG Arlovsky. But then even his win, Shane Sherman.
Yeah, who sucks? Who's no longer in the UFC.
This is all about Muhammad Usman's this is like his chance to gain some traction in the heavyweight division. They're kind of giving to him like it's like a like a stepping stone fight. But even though it's almost a pick'ems also.
Yeah, it's a hard stepping stone, and I know the real odds should kind of be a pick'ems, and I know this is not an advantage bet, but I like the Usman side just because of the whole situation, the setup. This is like if he can't beat Collier at heavyweight, then it's like, where do you go? Really, you're not going to be champion. That's for damn sure.
Damn,
I know that.
The KO prop for Usman by TKO or knockout is plus 425.
But hey, last fight here, man. Usman got some decent wins. I like this one. He beat Junior Tafa by decision. And then he beat Zach Pauga, who's another guy that was on the Ultimate Fighter. And he beat him by knockout with a left hook. Granted, that guy doesn't have the best chin. And then he did win his fights in the Ultimate Fighter. I did watch him back in the PFL, and it was a red flag, but he got a lot better since then. But he lost to Brandon Salas in PFL back in 21. So red flags, but I think this is a setup fight. So I did take Usman. I know it's gross. A lot of people hate this pick. But there's no way I'm betting on Fat Collier. That's for damn sure. Unless you give me like some really big odds, I mean, no way. I like Usman. I think you can get minus 150 or better. I see some minus 140s right now, bro.
Yeah.
You could wait. It might even go. More people are gonna bet on Collier, and if you get Usman at like minus 130.
Bro, no, I'm looking at Usman by knockout plus 425 and Usman in the first round plus 650.
Oh, you like early like that, but if it does happen, yeah, you're right. Could happen early here. But yeah, I like those. I like those as well because I'm not going to do Usman by points plus 135. I don't like that as much. But yeah, if you want some big money, I like that KO, like you mentioned, plus 425. Yeah, You like draws? No, plus
What
6,600
kind of draws?
draws. Yeah, but I guess we're both on Usman here.
Yay! Shout out the Nigerian Nightmare's brother.
Nigerian Nightmare. Don't let us down. Moving forward, man. We got another whatever fight. But it should be a banger. Someone might go to sleep. Someone might get choked out. But we got Jacob Malkoun, who's a huge favorite. I think the biggest favorite of the night. Let's see here. He is
minus 550.
Oh, yeah. He opened minus 500. Now he's like 550 at some places. You could probably still get minus 500, but still, that's crazy odds against Brundage, who's on a big losing streak as well.
Yeah.
What you got on this?
Jacob Malkoun. Yeah, I'll probably go with Jacob Malkoun. I remember his last fight. I was like betting against him. I was like, oh yeah, I probably won't bet against this guy next time.
Yeah, he's 7-2, man. He beat Nick Maximov, who was a big prospect for the Diaz brothers. Brendan Allen, he lost to, which is respectable. I like Brendan Allen. But he beat AJ Dobson, Abdul Razak Hassan, but lost to Phil Hall, which it depends. There's mixed reviews about Phil Hawes, depending on how you feel about him. But yeah, no, I think Phil Hawes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but what you gonna go with Malkoun here? What do you think by decision? Because he is a big favorite. So how would you put sprinkle some money on this one? Just throw him in a greasy parlay or what?
I would probably look at like the finish in the distance.
Inside the distance here? Yeah, we get Malkoun inside the distance. Damn. Plus 115. Not bad. Yeah, plus 115.
I mean, I would want to say distance. TKO because it's Cody Brundage. He always comes in like sloppy and just gets like, pieced up or submitted. But I think maybe Malkoun could finish him by TKO. I'm going for a lot of TKOs on this card.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I feel you on that. Yeah, I think if Malkoun wins, he should dominate, but I think the odds are a little off. And I sprinkled just a tiny, tiny bit on Brundage. I found a plus 425 on Brundage.
Yeah.
But if you get plus 400 or better, I think that's worth a sprinkle, man. He is on a big losing streak, and this is kind of like a desperate shot for him because I don't know who else he's going to be there for at 8-5. He's getting to 30.
Let me see his losses. Yeah, look, and it's all two. Oh, he got one.
Oh, mid-tier guys, right now.
It's all pick your flavor. It's a TKO, it's a choke, and then decision.
Yeah, exactly. He's decent at everything, just not great at anything, and then he gasses out. So I think that's kind of his thing. But he still got power at the beginning, early in the rounds, and Malkoun's known to have been knocked out before, have be kind of chinny and get wobbled. So for me, I am going to sprinkle on Brundage. Nice. Plus 4. I got a 425, just the tiniest of plays. Not a best bet, but I will be sprinkling on it. That's for damn sure.
By knockout.
As far as props, by knockout, let's see here.
It's plus 425 also.
Yeah, exactly. So you could get a plus 425 just for him to win if you shop around. So
yeah, I think that would be his way of winning too. Like you said, if you could chin Malkoun.
That's what they're saying with the odds, right? If you're Bet Online has it at plus 400 and then plus 425 for knockout. That means they think that's the only way he can win. So yeah, no, I understand. For the pick, who I think will win, of course, I'm gonna say Malkoun. But as far as where my money's going, I'll be sprinkling on Brundage. So let's go, Cody. Don't let me down. What we got next here?
We got some vets right here.
Oh, this is a banger. We got Tim Means, Dirty Bird, baby, against Andre Fialho from Portugal.
Man, Andre Fialho been doing me dirty lately.
Fialho, man, minus 170 right now. Tim Means plus 145. But yeah, I know what you mean, bro, because I know when he first kind of hit the scene heavy, he was knocking fools out, taking short notice fights.
Then he started getting messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And now he be looking kind of scared. Yeah, see, look.
But look at this, man. I like his resume though. Most recently, he lost to Joaquin Buckley with a head kick, who's a power guy. Muslim Salikov, who's an old ass kung fu artist, but very respectable. Jake Matthews, I don't think you're a Jake Matthews guy, are you?
No. Damn, but look, all his last fights have been finishes, bro. Yeah, I think I think Hype Killer was right about this sleeper pick with Team Men's on this fight for sure.
Yeah, he's on the. He was hitting us on the side, letting and he's like, I think that's gonna be my underdog, sleeper pick, Tim Means, and money has been trickling in on Tim Means, man. So I'm actually on the other side of this, man. I'm kind of on the other side, but let's just continue with his resume, because he did have some wins. Cameron Van Camp, mid guy. The biggest win that people were surprised at, or at least that surprised me, was Miguel Baeza, who I thought was going to be kind of a good prospect, and turned out to be kind of fraudulent. But he's getting some experience finally, man. He's fought James Vick back in 21.
I just think
Chris Curtis.
I just think
he's fought
his
those two.
I think his chin is gone.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But I think the same thing of Tim Means. I think this is his retirement fight here. He's 39 years old, but he's a badass for sure.
Yeah, but look, he don't get finished though. That's the thing. Like, this is like a perfect fight for him. There are losses, but look at his losses.
Yeah, his losses.
All decisions and submission. Fial's not a ground guy. He always tries to bang. You know what I'm saying? He has grappling. He used to train at AKA, but he don't.
Yeah, he's a stand and bang guy for sure. Nico Price was the last person back in 2019 to knock out Tim Means as far as KOs. So yeah, I mean, you have a point there. He hasn't been knocked out as well. He's been shaking on the last few fights, but
I think he has what it takes to win like Urquhart a decision.
Is that going to be would you say one of your best bets? With
I might throw it in. I might throw a little parlay in there with him, some plus money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you straight bets if you really think he's gonna win. That's gonna be your best bet. Plus 145 seems still value.
The over looks cool too, because the overs, they're going for the over 1.5. So
yeah, minus 140. Both guys will be durable enough. I like those odds too. Over 1.5. Tim Means by KO is plus 450. What do you think about that?
Damn. I mean, I guess it's like the truth is in the details, bro. This guy he's fighting for y'all can get chinned out easily. His last 3 fights are all, and like you say, even by Muslim Salikov, he got hit by a spinning back kick by the OG. So his chin is very sketch.
I agree. Fiallo has shown that. For me, though, I think this is at minus 170. I think it's kind of for me a good price. Minus 200 or better on the younger guy on the up. Firefight. Tim Means on his way out. Win or lose, I think this probably is going to be his retirement fight.
Yeah.
That's going to be another thing. So maybe he comes out on top. Maybe he doesn't. But for me, at this price, I think for me, I'll take the Fiallo. I'll go against the money coming in on Tim Means. But yeah, next fight. What we got?
And also, like I said, I got bad taste in my mouth with Fiallo. Like I said, he's burned me like the last 3 times, bro. Like, fool me once.
No, I agree with you on that, because that's what happens. That's what when I strike in is when people get off. Is my strategy. When people are ready to get off, because I was on him on the first thing, and then people fell off of him because they were overhyping him. Overhyping him and thinking he's going to knock everybody out, where he was just getting into firefights. And I don't think he's that skilled.
See, that's the thing. That's where he messes up. He stays away. He stirs away from the game plan and starts to firefight, and then like his chin is just dissolving. So it's like, damn.
Yeah, I don't think he's there yet. I think Tim Means is wearing down, in my opinion, because he hasn't been knocked out yet, but he's been shaken up a lot, and your brain doesn't get, I think, better as you get older. But that's just my opinion on what it is to get some value against the grain. But next fight here, we got kind of a little man's fight, but these two are kind of big prospects here. Dan Argueta against Miles Johns. Argueta's a favorite here. I think he was open at minus 190 or something right here.
Yeah.
Let me see here. And now he's around about the same, minus 175, minus 190. What do you think here? I think it's kind of a good matchup.
Yeah, it's a hella good matchup. Johns is a game opponent too, but his last fight, he just looked kind of it was kind of sketchy because he's been having to deal with that drama because he had to find a new camp because he was with James Krause and everything like that or whatever.
Oh, he's part of the gambling crew.
Yeah, so I don't know if he recovered, but
yeah, Miles Johns here, man. He is a prospect, 13-2, pretty well rounded, man. What do you got here? Last fight, Vince Morales, he won by decision, kind of rough decisions, but he's lost to John Castaneda, that was kind of an upset actually. But he beat some guys that are tough fighters like Anderson Dos Santos. Well, not so much Kevin Natividad, but lost to Mario Batista. So, I mean, I think he is a prospect, but man, Argueta is a nasty guy. If you notice his last fight, I think he lost, right? Argueta, or it was some sketchy thing here. Argueta last fight, yeah, no contest with Ronnie Lawrence due to a premature stop, and then they made it a no contest. So it kind of sucks because I think he was winning. Go back
to his record.
Yep. And then last fight before that, Nick Aguirre, he lost to Damon Jackson. And then here's kind of a red flag is that the Ultimate Fighter, he lost to Ricky Tercios, which I'm whatever on Ricky Tercios. So, yeah, but he's gotten way more swole. He's a big-time wrestler. And, I think he's just going to have to grind it out. And I think this is at this point, up to minus 200, I'm going to bet on him. I think I got him at something around, let's see here. Oh, I didn't fire him. Yeah, I put him on my two fire list because I think the money's coming in the other way on John's. So at minus 175, though, I'd definitely bet on him, and I will. Well, yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm probably going the Argueta way too. Just probably got more tools than John, but John is a game opponent. I probably like if you want to look the over, because they're both little guys.
Yeah, they might just be in a lot of wrestling positions as well. So the over is a good look. It looks like over 2.5 is actually minus 160 right now. Not too bad. So over might be good. Argueta, I like Argueta probably if I had to pick by decision plus 25.75. Yeah, it's okay. I don't love it, but yeah, Johns could last, and I think Johns might be a better striker to be honest. It's just that the grappling game. I think once Argueta gets him on the ground, John's gonna have to keep pushing and try to get up, and it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I think especially it's a smaller cage, easier to get a hold of.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it looks like we're on the same page here. Argueta,
Gardettos.
And that's actually the head of the prelims, and now we get on the main card here.
Air Jordan.
Pretty good. I think I like this matchup a lot, man. Ricardo Ramos makes his return against Air Jordan, like you said. What you got on this, man? Ricardo Ramos is actually a small dog, plus 120. Jordan's minus 140 right now.
Yeah, I'll probably go with Air Jordan.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this. It's sad because I like a lot of favorites on this card, like slight favorites, but which kind of concerns me. But yeah, Ricardo Ramos, he's definitely game submission. Obviously, classic Brazilian jiu-jitsu, quick dude. But he's actually been out for a year now, a little over a year. Last time he fought was against Danny Chavez in the summer of 22. And then he did beat Danny Chavez with a knockout, but before that he lost to Gugov. And he's lost to Lerone Murphy, that's a respectable loss. He's fought the who's. He beat Bill Algeo. So some notable wins there. I wonder why he took, kind of a long time off. Did he have injury?
Maybe. I'm not sure though.
And
Jordan, his last fight was against the Gracie, right?
Kron Gracie, who's not very good in my opinion. So good at jiu-jitsu, but not good at fighting. But he's lost. Here's a new red flag for me on this resume, though. Although I do agree on this side. Shane Burgos. He lost to Shane Burgos, bro. And you know how I feel about Shane Burgos lately.
Nah, but that was like a decision fight, right?
Yeah, majority decision on.
Yeah, that was a close ass fight. It wasn't like I think they could have easily gave it to Jordan too.
Jordan will fight for your money, and he's durable. And for me, with that type of striking, as long as this stays standing, he's gonna, I think, have a good chance to compete. Right. The only issue is what happens when he gets to the ground. He could hold his own for sure. But he's not better than Ramos on the ground. So that's my only concern. But I do agree, and I like Jordan as well at this price.
He could just keep it standing. Like, he just fought the best, like, jiu-jitsu guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think if you put Ramos in with Kron Gracie, Ramos would scrape the floor of Gracie left and right. So that's another thing. This is a good opponent. So you got to respect that. But we're both on the same side. Let's see here. We got Brian Battle against AJ Fletcher, man. Brian Battle, for those that remember, he's from the Ultimate Fighter. Yep. And he actually beat Trayshawn Gore in the UFC when they fought over there, when they were arguing over like who's the real champ and all this. Because Trayshawn Gore, I'm over Trayshawn Gore, to be honest. But Brian Battle, 9-2. Last fight he fought, he beat Gabe Green by knockout in the first round, which no one thought he had any punching power. That was the big hate on him. And then his loss before that was Renat by decision due to the wrestling, man. What
and that's not a loss to be sad on. That fool's a beast.
Exactly. AJ Fletcher over here, also another prospect, 10-2, shorter guy. He's 5'10", kind of like a muscle hamster type of guy, and he's a wrestler, man. He beat Themba Gorimbo. If you guys know who that is, that's the guy that got the free house from Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who made that emotional video. That's that guy who got choked out. And then before that, lost 2 fights, man, against Semmelsberger and Angel Lusa. So, I mean, those aren't terrible guys, but those are guys that he could have beat to get to the next level. But
yeah, I like Battle in his fight.
Yeah, I do too, man. I'm kind of scared. I haven't fired on it yet, but at Battle at -170, it's a little juicy for me, but I do like the Battle side. I wonder if it's going to, like, go down. And maybe closer to fight time, you get like a -150, something like that. And that would be pretty nice. But I do like the Battle side as well. I think he's just, willing. He has the length. He can wrestle as well, low key, and he's going to have the durability as well. Fletcher's just going to start going in, swinging like crazy, try to grapple. But I like Battle. I think he's more well-rounded. Let's see here. Getting back.
Ooh.
We got the last leg of my greasy ass women's parlay. Marina Rodriguez, big favorite, -300 against the karate hottie, man. Michelle Waterson Gomez with the special hair.
I was Michelle Waterson Gomez. I feel so bad for her. She always gets played when it's like a decision fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, this is the rematch, by the way.
Man, who won the first one? Marina, right?
Yeah, so Karate Hottie, 18-11. She's on a 3-fight losing streak, man. The only win she's had since 2019 was it Angela Hill. She had the 2020 win against Angela Hill by split, which was sketch. I thought Angela Hill kind of won that one. And then
I thought she got played against that Luana Pinero though.
That's possible as well. I think she did because they're trying to push Luana as the younger prospect. But she had a good fight, man. She was striking well, but she is aging. How old is she now? It's 37, So it is a little rougher. She's been getting beat up a lot. Amanda Lemos. Last time they fought, Marina dominated her as well. I mean, she's fought the who's who, so we don't have to go through her whole resume, but she's fought pretty much everyone in that division without ever being the champ. So whereas Marina Rodriguez, another person's kind of stuck there. And I was like, why are they making this match? It's like, because both these people are just stuck there. Marina Rodriguez, not that young either, even though she's younger, I guess, in like her experience, but 36 years old, 16-3, amazing striker. But her problem is on the ground.
Her last couple fights sketched me out. Well, no, the last one against Verna, I thought she should have for sure got that. Well, but then she got yoked up.
Yeah, Verna's dominant. Verna's gotten better at striking, and she's a grappler, and the grappling is what really kills it. And then Amanda Lemos is just a different power, So once you start standing and taking hits, it is rough. I like the striking, but her striking defense for Marina Rodriguez is sketchy. She does take some hits, but I think she in this length, I'm willing to put her in this greasy parlay, But -300 is a little expensive on her. So, I don't – that's why it's the D-Gen move, on that one.
I could even see her by split decision or some shit. But I for sure – I would pick her for sure, but Karate Hottie, she's always in there live, but she has to like bring in the fire and like put it on Marina.
Close distance, bro. But here's the problem with the closing distance. I thought about that too because she has shorter arms and legs than Marina. But when she closes the distance, who's better in the clinch? Marina. It's like with the Muay Thai. So it's like she's really gonna have to get in and grapple and take her down. Once Marina's on her back or on the ground, then she's obsolete. And Michelle Waterson, in my opinion, I know she's a striker too, but I think she's more well-rounded overall. I think her grappling game compared to Marina is better. but the Muay Thai clinching is sketchy. Yeah. We got the last 2 fights here. This is interesting. Now we got another banger. We got Redneck Jiu-Jitsu Bryce Mitchell against Dan 50K Ige. Man, so maybe who's gonna get the 50K in this fight, man? One of these guys right here. But as far as the odds go, Bryce Mitchell, I think he's a huge favorite, not a decent favorite. He's at minus 200, 210. But he opened at like minus 150. What do we have here? I gotta look. Yeah, he opened at minus 145, something like that, minus 140, 145, and now he's all the way to minus 200, 210, which I think is kind of the limit. But I'll make this one real quick, just so y'all know. Bryce Mitchell is one of my best bets for the week. I do like Bryce Mitchell, even though I am concerned about all the drama that's been going on the internet with Bryce Mitchell about, his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, killing his trees, going after his animals, and then he's like breaking windows and doing all this wild shit. So I know that definitely has to be a distraction. But I just think he's just the younger prospect that's way better, man. He's well-rounded. And if it gets down to the ground, man, Mitchell got the
DJ. If he could get him down, but if Ige can keep it standing, I think Ige could finish him. You know what I mean? That's Bryce Mitchell's stand-up was not that fire.
I think his stand-up has substantially got better than the person that fought, though. Who back here, like the fights against Charles Rosa, Andre Fili back in 2020. I think when he fought Edson Barbosa, it kind of showed that his striking, I mean, it wasn't better than Edson, but he was keeping up. And that was a big piece of it as well. And then Topuria, he got dominated, but he got dominated on the submission too. So Topuria is another top like title contender at this point too. But yeah, man, Dan Ige. I like Dan Ige as a person, and I think he's dope, but I don't know. I just don't think he's a consistent guy.
That's the thing. He does hella good, and then he just like falls off. What's like who did he fight last?
He upsetted Nate Landwehr, man. Well, I don't know if he was a favorite or not, but he definitely dominated that fight on Nate Landwehr, who's like a beast. And then Damon Jackson, who is whatever, he beat Damon Jackson. But when he fought against like the top guys, Korean Zombie, Josh Emmett, Evloev here. Oh, sorry. My bad. I didn't even share y'all. This is the resume of Dan Ige here.
No, yeah.
And then he's Calvin Cater. So, I mean, this is the level that he is going to fight, kind of like that when it comes to guys that are like up and coming or trying to make it over the hump to be like top belt contenders. You got to go through Dan Ige, that's how I feel about Dan Ige. Like he's that ultimate, like, is he like a top 5 or top 10 like gatekeeper? Like, okay, you make it over here, then you're okay. If not, then you're not going to get nowhere as far as title shots in the future, So, but yeah, I like Bryce Mitchell here, but the price is getting a little too much. So, but I still like it up to minus 200. If you can get a minus 200.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the upset on this one.
Hey, 50K Ige, man. What's his knockout prop? Knockout prop plus 400 on Dan Ige.
Because I think with Ige, he could even maybe win by decision and just keep the distance and just like pepper up Bryce. Because I'm not sold on Bryce Mitchell's stand up at all after that Ilya fight.
Yeah, Ilya's elite.
Because that's the thing, Bryce, like he hasn't. This fool Ige's fought like already like the top of the top, right? He hasn't fought like the top guys, and when he kind of did, look what happened to him. And then plus he got the drama going on. I don't know.
The drama is the biggest thing, but I mean, the last time he lost was on the Ultimate Fighter against Brad Katona.
Hell, that's kind of a red flag too. Brad Katona.
The Ultimate Fighter. But that's the biggest thing, I think. For me,
he's gotten better for sure.
He's gotten crazy better. Like his leaps and bounds. Obviously, Ilya Topuria is on the next level. Like that guy's about to fight for the belt soon. Like that's different. Bryce Mitchell, I don't think he's there yet, but him fighting against Edson Barbosa was surprising. That's for damn sure. Even though Edson was on the end of his career. But yeah, man, we split on that one. But yeah, Bryce Mitchell, Dan Ige, we'll see. And here's another interesting one that I think we're going to be able to be split on here. Rafael Fiziev. Hasbullah XXL against Mateus Gamrot here, or Mataush is what they say. Oh, sorry, I didn't even share it with y'all. Look at their physiques. But we got Fiziev favored around minus 155, 150, and Gamrot here going the other way as a slight underdog, plus 120, 130.
Yeah, I'm going
130.
There's gonna be a good ass fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
grappler versus striker.
Yeah, the best. You know what I'm saying? The perfect style matchup. But yeah, I'm going with Mateusz Gamrot, Poland.
Yes, 22-2, man. I mean, he's an elite grappler. He's decent striker. Last time he fought, he beat Jalen Turner by split, which is surprising because everyone's like, "Wow, Jalen Turner is a big prospect, hell lanky, killer," and then he lost him. But then, of course, I think that Barnil Dariush fight right there was kind of like that big step up, but a hell of a fight. And then Arman Sarukian, he beat Arman Sarukian, who's another big prospect. That was a big upset and surprising as well. And he's beat some good names. So, no, I feel you on that. Last time he lost before that was back in 2020, Guram Kudaladze by split. So, I mean, every time he's lost, he's lasted. So he's pretty durable as well. So definitely, this is a great matchup. This is going to see who's like the real prospect.
And in his five round fight, I know Gamrot can go all five, like, you know, and push the pace.
Mm-hmm. Rafael Fiziev, man, 12-2, less fights. But last fight, most notably known, he lost to Justin Gaethje by decision, which was badass. I believe it was a 5-rounder.
Yep.
So he lasted.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a 5-rounder. It was like a.
Oh, it was three rounds.
Yeah.
So he lasted 3 rounds with Justin Gaethje, but it kind of woke him up. He said, like, you know, because he was on a streak. He was beating people up. His striking was crazy. He beat Bobby Green, Renato Moicano, Mark Diakiese, Rafael Dos Anjos, Brad Riddle, like some decent competition in a row. And his like striking offense and defense is amazing. But obviously his grappling is not going to be in comparison to Gamrot. But for me, I've been on this guy minus the Justin Gaethje fight because that's just a next level fight. But every time he's fought any of these other guys, I've been riding him. I think at minus 150, it might get me in here, man. I was thinking about Gamrot with the grappling upside, but at minus 150, I was like, when are you going to get Fiziev at minus 150 again? Maybe when he fights like a top 3 guy. So I'm going to go with Fiziev here, minus 150. But I think they could go all 5 rounds possibly too, because you know both guys are durable.
Yeah,
and Gamrot could always wrestle.
I think all 5 benefits Gamrot too, especially they're in the apex cage too.
For the grappling, yeah. The longer it goes, I do agree. Gamrot could get the advantage from the grappling and just the. I mean, both guys got pretty good cardio. So I think Gamrot, just people know him for that because he's a grappler. But that's his go-to. If he does get clipped, you know, he's always down to grab up on a single leg or something like that as well. But yeah, man, we're split on some of these main fights, man. Once again, just like what we split last week, y'all, on Shevchenko and Grasso, which ended up being a draw. So let's see, man. But yeah, what else we got going on? Just for the people, because next week UFC, I believe, is finally going to take a little break, not with Contender Series, but with weekend events. So just 1 week break.
I think there's a Bellator this weekend too.
Bellator 299, man. Did you hear they're folding, right? Is that true?
Yeah, some shit like that, yeah.
So they're gonna go up to 300. I think it's done, right? 300 is gonna be their last event.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. But this one's in Dublin, Ireland, man. Who you got? Eblin, who's the champ for, I believe, 185, right?
Mm-hmm. He trains out of ATT and against is that Leon's brother, right?
Yeah, against Fabian Edwards, Leon Edwards' brother. So it's gonna be a good matchup, man. Eblin's a beast though, so don't play around with him. Fabian's cool, kickboxer, but he's like Leon Edwards light, you know. But he beat Gegard Mousasi last, so he's getting a title shot for a reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Eblin's well rounded and he's a beast. He's about to grapple and be the champ once again. And that's pretty much it, man. Keep watching Contender Series. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna be back hopefully on Gen G channel soon. And check out Gen G. Check out the NFL Smokedown as well. Yeah,
So
like, subscribe.
let's give them some of our bets, man.
Oh yeah, best bet, man. Thanks for reminding me.
All right, so I'm gonna
go
give
ahead.
you here. I'm gonna give you prelim. I want to say here's a prelim parlay. Muhammad Usman and Tim Means.
Tim Means. Okay.
That's a little tight. Your butthole right there. And then
what else you got?
Straight bet. I would do Tim Means and Fiziev the over.
Tim Means and Fiziev over. What is that going to be? Let me check the odds here.
Like minus 160 or
minus
something.
140.
Yeah,
Tim Means, Fialo, bet online.
Because the over is 1.5, so I like that.
Okay. Means over 1.5. It's 140. All right.
And then I'm gonna give y'all. It's gonna be a 4-banger parlay. Brian Battle, Marina Rodriguez, and never mind, just a 3 parlay. The Gamrot. This is just a 3 triple threat.
Gamrot. All right.
Yeah, because I'm sketch on the E game, Bryce
Mitchell. I'm trying to calculate the odds for that right here. 50. No, he's that's 130. What's the other? What was the last one? Oh, Battle. Yeah, that one's gonna be a plus 380, 390. Usually plus 390 on that, and then the Usman Means is plus 315, and then Means over 1.5 minus 140. All right, that's what we got here. For me, I'm gonna go Bryce Mitchell. I think he's at minus 200, but I'll tell you. Oh yeah, minus 210. We'll just leave it at 210 then. Bryce Mitchell minus 210. I got in a little earlier than that, but at that fuck it for the show, we'll take 210. What else we got here? Oh yeah, my greasy parlay. I'll keep that for the end, I guess. I like Usman minus 140. No, I don't want to give that one. Oh, that one I will be on that one. That's for damn sure, but I don't know if I want to say that's my best bet. Okay, Kamara or not Kamara. Usman, the big Mo Usman is never your best bet. I feel like that's just the money you put in. Don't say anything.
Hey, you never know though. He might show something different in this fight, so we'll see. He's still growing.
He gets better.
Still growing as a fighter.
And I'm on a lot of favorites, so it does scare me. But I like Jourdain minus 140. I'll take that. Jourdain minus 140. And then as far as a parlay, the greasy parlay, we're gonna do Vidal. We're gonna do Inuki or whatever her name is, Mizuki, the Japanese chick who's a big favorite, and who's that other chick at the beginning?
You said him already.
Marina Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, no, she's on the later one.
Yeah, so all three of them, you're gonna get a plus 150, plus 160. So I think that's gonna be worth it as well. The greasy play. But other than that, man, that's gonna be our best bet. Hopefully, we come out with a team bounce back hard, where we both could be profitable here.
Hell yeah, man! Shouts out to y'all, man. Keep liking, keep sending your picks. Keep putting them parlays, your predictions. We appreciate it.
Yeah, comment, put it in there, like it, share it. Appreciate y'all.
Peace. Smoke it up.
Smoke out.
Smoke it down.
Wow.